Like things like America putting a tariff on Chinese manufacturing equipment on one hand, and then the Europeans and Canada putting tariffs on American manufacturing products on the other end, basically just kills those industries. On the other hand, Canada and China and Europe are basically tariffing American products that they are able to buy from each other anyway. So instead of buying from the US, they change it so that they just buy from each other. So so the European, Canadian, and Chinese economies aren't really going to be affected by any of this. This is fascinating. To me, at least. It's fascinating to me. Two, three, four, and 5. I'm not sure if anyone in the Trump administration actually has looked at this. And the thing is, you don't see this stuff in the news either. Like, I don't see any American news outlets analyzing these tariffs in detail. So the American people kind of just don't know what they're in for. Or like just how ineffective these tariffs are against Canada and China and Europe. Because they just stop buying from the US and start buying from each other, and that solves their problem. Alright, so I'm gonna raise this up. Alright, Wesley's gonna be right back. I need to raise this up. As we come across here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I mean, if we diagonal over here, I don't want to get too close to the glue. You know what? Let's diagonal across. Let's not do this. But instead we'll tunnel through here. And then diagonal down that way. Right, if I diagonal across here, that should be fine. This is the other side too, huh? So this goes to here, Which means we don't do that down there. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Two, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we step down from there. Two, 3, 4, and 5. I mean, American tariffs against Canada and Europe. But not against Chinese steel and aluminium. So American companies, I suppose, they'll just buy Chinese steel and aluminium. And then American tariffs on Chinese machines, which then I guess American will just buy European machines. Huh. So it doesn't. I need to think about this a bit more. Alright, so I guess now I should just let's pave this stuff. We've outlined this stuff, let's pave these tracks. The trade war doesn't... I don't think it helps Europe. Like, it doesn't help American companies, I mean. I don't think it helps American companies at all. And then all three sides tariff American agriculture. So basically the big loser is American farmers. Although I guess if you want to make money, if you're Chinese and you want to make money, maybe you start getting back into steel and aluminium production. And if you're European and you want to make money, then you start getting into industrial machinery. Because the Americans are tariffing the other side on those things. But I think there are other factors at work too, because I seem to remember the Americans already have anti-dumping sanctions against Chinese steel manufacturers. So it kind of already has tariffs on Chinese steel, because they accuse the Chinese of selling steel below the price of production, whatever that means. But making raw steel is, like, it's not that good for your economy anyway. Making steel is not exactly highly profitable stuff. I'm just thinking about these chemicals again, the Chinese tariffs against various industrial chemicals. Who does that benefit? Who does it harm and who does it benefit? Welcome back, Wesley. So my conclusion for you, Wesley, is Europeans should maybe get a little bit out of steel and aluminium production and move into producing industrial machinery. Which, are you involved in making industrial machinery? Nice. Yes, you are already on the path. I say that because the Americans are putting tariffs on Chinese industrial machinery. Like, they're putting tariffs on they're putting tariffs on European steel and aluminium, and then putting tariffs on Chinese industrial machinery. So the way I see it playing out is that you just swap over. The Americans will then just import steel and aluminium from China, and then import the industrial machinery from Europe to dodge the tariffs both ways. So yeah, so if you're gonna be involved in making industrial machinery, then you can take some business away from Chinese, thanks to Trump. And the fact that you were already in the process of doing so makes me think that maybe you were in on this, Wesley. Is it a conspiracy, Wesley? Are you in on this tariff conspiracy? I knew it. You might fool everyone else, but I can see through your tariff conspiracy. You just have to put the pieces together on a whiteboard. I mean, I don't know. Like it's kind of suspicious just how ineffective the American tariffs are gonna be. It's suspicious how ineffective they're gonna be, and then how effective the counter tariffs by Canada and Europe and China are gonna be. It's like Trump's tariffs basically do nothing, and then the counter tariffs basically destroy the American agriculture industry. It's kind of insane. What about Russia? Good question, actually. What about Russia? Russia, doesn't Europe prop up Russia's economy by buying their natural gas? I think Russia maintains its economy by exporting natural gas to Europe. I think that's mostly it. I think Russian manufacturing is... You can look it up, I guess. I'm not sure if I should look it up now or not. Alright, let me just look up Russian exports and imports. Russia foreign trade, export and import. OEC, Russia exports trade partners. Both exports and imports have declined in recent years. Okay. Alright, it's generating the data. Let's see. 28% crude petroleum, so mostly crude oil, and then refined petroleum, and then petroleum gas, and then coal are the big things. And then there's raw aluminium, semi-finished iron, refined copper, nickel, pig iron, titanium, ferro alloys, so iron alloys, raw iron bars, iron pipes. So the biggest part is basically fossil fuels. The next biggest part is metals, processed or otherwise, and then it's chemicals, including fertilizers, and then there's diamonds, platinum, gold, so precious metals and precious minerals, gas turbines, so manufactured, oh, this is like industrial machinery, and then agriculture, and then plywood and wood products, and then vehicles, rubber, tobacco, etc, 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 right. So the biggest part of Russian exports is fossil fuels, followed by aluminium and iron. You know what, now that I think about it, Trump might have been trying to benefit Russia by putting tariffs on European and Canadian steel and aluminium. Maybe they were thinking they could shift to importing those from Russia instead. but I feel like they would just end up importing from China instead.